Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Power Block. Um, so I had a little difficulty there with say hello.
Hello.
uh, I think I was doing too much, man, with the countdown timers. I think it sucks up some of my data. I don't know what's going on. So working on up in the internet here. So we had these little glitch issues. Won't happen as much, hopefully. Um, so I hope y'all had a good day today. So you want to say what?
I built this without any help.
Sweet. That was a good tire. Nice. All right. Go finish your homework.
I already did.
No.
Yeah. Why fast? Yes, this.
All right. So, what's up, Untamed? What's up, Tim? Hello, everyone. How's it going? Everybody want to say hi?
That's my soccer practice again.
All right. So, today's show, I'm going to talk about basic dryer repair fundamentals on dryers, right? So we go into the 101, the bare bones, the easy stuff. Maybe a review for some. I know my viewers are a mixture of do-it-yourselfers and actual technicians. But there's some basic stuff to just to remember. Uh, One of the things with we're doing repairs, if you know how it works, you know how to fix it. That's usually the best strategy, right? To learn how it works. Once you learn something works, then you're like, okay, it's easier to troubleshoot and hunt it down and what's going on. So I got my sparkling water to wet my whistle. So, I got some more stuff I need to put on the screen here. Hope everyone's having a great week so far. Things are pretty good on my side of town here. So, if you are new to the channel, I'm trying to find some music. Here we go. Okay, I like that beat. Yeah, it's kind of slow. Yeah. Trying to find a good beat to start the show with. So, if you are new to the channel, you are watching the Power Block. The Power Block is 3 YouTube channels, one powerful block of Appliance Industry Talk. Starts with me, your Encompass rep, Reggie Williams, LOYR. Lean on your rep. Then at 7:30, you got Mona and Tim, the Oracle Appliance Repair Tim Burdick, and the hard worker, Mona Sims, owner and CEO of SSG Appliance Academy, hands-on training. You can't beat it. So you got Mona at 7:30, and then you go to the OG Mike Sneed at 8 o'clock. Mike with Appliance Boot Camp, right? So now, if you don't know, that's still not enough information for you. You're like, what are you talking about? Let's go to Screen Share Kung Fu. Un momento. You're getting there. Let's go to Screen Share Kung Fu. Boom. So, Encompass has, so we are a parts distributor, the most authorized distributor in the country, one of the biggest in the country, because of our parent company, Parts Town. And if you do not have a wholesale account, you're doing your business a disservice. If you go to the description, you will see something called a hello sign link. Click that to sign up for a wholesale account through Encompass. I will be your rep, and this will give you access and availability to leverage our inventory and all our resources to help your business grow. Any questions, feel free to email or call or text me. Right, and one of those things that help your business grow is virtual training that we offer. The virtual training is going to help keep you or your technicians pencil sharp. Why? Because this training is on a lot of the newer stuff. So if your business is heavy with warranty work, you're in an area where there's a lot of newer appliances. I mean, even a lot of the fundamental stuff you learn is good for the older stuff too. You may want to invest. Uh, by the way, $24.99 for these classes. The Whirlpool one is 50, but most of our other stuff will be $24.99. So you go to this. I'm gonna put this link in the description, and go ahead and register for a virtual class. The more you earn, the more you learn. Y'all stop being cheap, man. Invest in your education. And obviously, it's not the $24; it's the time that you're not working, right? So that's the real, oops, that's the real investment. I put the wrong thing here. Hang on one second. Yeah, that is definitely the real investment. Constantly educating yourself. I think a lot of us in this industry are self-taught or might have been taught by somebody that handed down the knowledge to you. But I think for the most part, a lot of us are self-taught, and you need to uh, we got what you need to constantly invest in your education. All right, so let's try this link thing again. Hang on, I put something completely wrong in here. Let's do this again. Technical. All right, copy and paste. Everybody had a good day today? Tell me how your day was in the comments. Boom. And so, so in the best part, last picture popped up. The best part is our virtual training is taught by the Oracle of appliance repair. If a technical book was a person on all the appliances available, it will be Tim Burdick, the walking appliance repair encyclopedia. The Oracle Tim Burdick teaches all of our classes. So highly sought after trainer. This is what he does for a living. So we didn't grab somebody with a bunch of experience and tell them to teach, because teaching is definitely a skill in itself. And so Tim does our teaching. So next at 7:30, Mona's block. Mona is the CEO of SSG Appliance Academy. We got Mona and Tim at 7:30, and this is hands-on, 2-week hands-on training and weekend sales systems class. And then you got Appliance Boot Camp, the OG Mike Sneed at 8 o'clock. Appliance Boot Camp. Now, Mike does hands-on. He actually has an event coming next month. It is hands-on training and online. His online content it has so many levels to it. So Sneed is a serial entrepreneur, and his content has so many levels to it. So he's got something called the blueprint, and that blueprint will help keep you in business. It tells you about the business side and what to do with your money, how to move it around, right? And then also, as you get as you get seasoned in this business, you're going to get bored. And so, with all this money from appliance repairs, Sneed also gives you different directions to go um, with the money you make from appliance repair. So y'all check them out at 8 o'clock. All right. So on Thursdays, this is a little different segment I'm gonna do. Uh, Kind of like a state of the union. What's up, Quentin? Kind of a state of the union of appliance business. I like to, and this is just something I do. No advice here. I like to gauge what's going on in the appliance industry by checking out Whirlpool stock prices. Whirlpool is one of the biggest, number one, the biggest uh, appliance manufacturer in the country. Um, they got a lot of people catch on their tail, though. I'll tell you that. And so it's good. They're the oldest, definitely the oldest. As far as volume. Um, so Whirlpool is a good gauge to see what's going on in the industry from a financial point of view. And obviously, stock prices are more emotionally driven than factually driven. If the market, case in point, when there was when we had a financial crash, and remember, GM had filed bankruptcy, and so a rising tide raises all ships and also lowers all ships. And so at the time, Toyota stock prices dropped too, and their earnings were great. But so it was the tide of that industry that affected all the other prices. So that's how I feel about Whirlpool. So Yahoo Finance is a very good source to get very detailed information. You can come here, you can like scroll down and look at news, company news, headlines with Whirlpool. It talks about because there's some stuff going on with options trading. Uh, and there's different things that happens with the stock price. Trying to get too caught up in politics, stuff like that, or even the news, because that will affect your decision making. Case in point, the other day I heard on the news that I overheard on the news that the stock market crashed, and I'm like, what? And I looked, and it wasn't. It was just a dip. But it was, So anyway, watch out for that stuff. I'm a technical trader, and so I like to go off the pricing patterns. So let's go to that. So right now, so if you looked at the last video I did on this, so this is the weekly uh, price trend, right? So not can't get into too much detail on this because it'll be the whole show. And so the price. So if you see this line here, each bar represent a week, and so you can change that to days or whatever. And I like to use weeks to determine the projection of where things are going. And so you see here, we are still in a continued downtrend, pretty much a bear market right now. The U.S. stock market almost always is overall was still in a uptrend, right? If you look at yearly charts, but right now we're kind of in a bear market. And so this yellow line I drew on my last video, and once we break this yellow line, we break that yellow line, and it closes above that line, we will most likely be out of a downtrend, right? This trend here is going down. We have now what we call a double bottom. So right now, Whirlpool is at $145 a share, and it's on a support line. A support line is, I'm gonna draw a line here. A support line. So I'm gonna do this, but we're gonna get to the dryers in a second. So a support line will be here. So this blue line now is support. If it breaks that, it may come all the way down. Oh, come on, moved on me. There we go. Come on, technical issues. Here we go. So your next support line will be down here, like $140 a share. And then from there, $124 a share. And for it to do that, I mean, we'll see. So if you're long, right, you may buy a little here, uh, and then wait and see what happens, and buy a little as so that's called a falling knife. That's usually a bad thing. But if you're going long, you think, okay, if I buy at 145, and then if it goes down to 138, I'll buy more, and you just buy it as it goes down. Will it crash into zero? No, I can honestly say that. But as and then you make your money once the market recovers. This is the strongest stock exchange in the world, the U.S. stock exchange. So, but right now things are looking pretty. I mean, right now it's following the trend of the overall market. So this isn't really a reflection of Whirlpool. They just acquired. If you look over here on the news, they acquired Emerson Electronics. Their InSinkerator business, which is for food waste. Side to help improve Whirlpool's kitchen appliance division. So if you look at the overall market, you can look at the overall market by looking at the SPX. That's SP 500, and this is pretty much the stock market. And it's in that downtrend too. We have a bit of a spike in buying on the SP 500 stock, and so it's kind of looking like the Whirlpool stock, right? This is a little bit more zoomed in. So that's the weekly chart. So any questions about that, feel free to hit me up, man. But let's get into dryers. So that's not doom and gloom. So if you're thinking like, oh man, the appliance business is over and it's done, nah, we're good, man. It's a good time to buy. Things are on sale. But I wouldn't, you just don't want to put all your money into one basket. You kind of want to buy slowly. So anyway, let's get into dryers. Let's talk about dryers. Um, so there are three main components with dryers: airflow, heat, and drum rotation. The main components of a dryer. Now I know you got motors and other stuff, right? Of course, I'm not bypassing that. But those are the main functions of a dryer. If you look here in this diagram, it kind of shows you airflow from I would say, let's say Whirlpool dryer. Typically, you have like a little hole here, and back here is your heating element, and your the blower wheel here. That's what this is. See my point. The blower wheel is what sucks air from inside the drum, and that air that's sucked from inside the drum is gets sucked, and so it sucks out the air from the heating element. So that suction sucks the heat from the heating element into the drum through the blower and out through the vents. You can't get more dryer 101 than that. And it's funny because there was a saying, Lou Holtz, the legendary coach of Notre Dame. Lou Holtz used to start every practice. They said Lou Holtz started every practice with to his college players holding a football saying, "This is a football." His first lesson of every spring training was, "This is a football," and that's basically saying start with uh, the basics, right? So starting with the basics. So that thing blows in dry. So with that is going to draw in heat from the heating element. Here's your blower wheel. Uh, Now, keep in mind, before you have a heart attack, that price is retail. If you have an Encompass account, you log in the account and see what your wholesale price is. If you do not have an Encompass account, go to the description and click on my uh, Hello Sign link to sign up for an account. You do it now, you probably be done and approved by tomorrow. Encompass does not make our customers, future customers, jump through hoops to get an account. All you gotta do you just need to be a servicer. And so by being a servicer, that allows only thing we require is that you're a servicer, and proof of that is you buy more than one part. right? Our competitors do require EIN numbers, LCs, and blood samples, and doing 10 push-ups, all that stuff. We don't require that. We just want to get you started, get you in business, and help the industry. So um, we have all right. So co-signed by the Oracle. So we've got so blower wheel, and so when servicing that blower wheel, so let's talk about some of the what you're going to see out in the field, right, with these blower wheels. Some of them are reverse thread. It'll usually say it right here in the middle. Uh, Also, you have lint buildup on some of these, right? So something I learned from the Oracle, Tim Burdick, Electrolux had a recall at one point where because of the way that the blades were designed, it held a lot of lint, and which affected the performance, right? Because you look at these little scoops, these are made to push air, but if lint is sticking to these, then that does affect how much air it gathers within these scoops and to push out through that exhaust vent. So yeah, so definitely, if you are in a repair, even if you're not repairing the blower wheel, it's a good idea to add to your service and your labor, right? The fact that you're going to clean these off, right? There's always a little lint on these things, so you definitely want to clean those off, wipe them off really good. I don't know if there's any tricks out there to anything you can spray on these things to make them non-stick, but uh, you know, I don't know. So that might make it worse. So I don't. If you like anything proven methods, let me know. In a lint screen, hairpins and blowing up. So you got hairpins is a magnet for these two. Okay, yeah, you see a lot of junk and stuff gathered at the bottom. Sometimes you'll see animals in there that crawl through the vent pipes, the exhaust hose because there's no flap. Uh, oh man, time flies. Jeez. So yeah, so we got that. Um, let's talk about next up. Where are we? Where are we? Fuses. Fuses. So this fuse, why is it showing that one? Is a kit? I don't know if these together or not. So if you notice something new on the Encompass website is 360 videos. And so when you go on our website now, you'll see a lot of these parts spin. You'll see the whole part. 360 videos are now on our website. So let's talk about these fuses. The fuse on the left, your high limit fuse. Now, this one is the redundancy for this fuse. So this fuse, you might screw the names up. Thermal fuse. I have my own names from back in the day. I got it a heat regulator. We all got different names. Um, and so this fuse, so you got a thermal cutoff. Reading this thing. And your limit fuse. So this limit fuse, this one here, this will allow you to. So it regulates the heat from the heating element. And what happens is, so your heat element reaches a certain temperature. Says it here. So you have 121 degrees Celsius. And so there's a range, right? And so with that range, it turns off the heat, turn off the heat element, turns on the heat element, turns off the heat element, turns off the heat element. This will get worn out if there's a restriction in the air duct, because things are happening it's not cooling down fast enough. Things are happening too fast. And then with this, if this fuse fails, your high limit here will trigger. So once it goes over these parameters for the, and this is usually uh, higher, set a lot higher, to as a redundancy with this fuse failing. Because so now if you have somebody, you buy patches out there. Someone bypasses this fuse. Uh, so this doesn't cut off, right? Someone bypasses this fuse. So now this fuse goes out, your heat element stays on. And there are so many scenarios where that can happen. Even if this one doesn't go bad, right? So let's say, so I've seen where you have a bra underwire get into the holes of the dryer and fall into where the heat element is, and creates a grounding situation. Where now, when the dryer is even off, that heat element stays on. And with this fuse in place, this will trigger and will turn off that heating element. Now, the dryer, in most Whirlpool dryers, the dryer will still rotate, but there will be no heat when that happens. Here's a trick: this fuse is actually resettable. You can reset this fuse by smacking it on the ground. But now, that's the flipper coming out of me, right? That's the cheap flipper coming out of me. But obviously, that repair doesn't stop with this, right? You kind of find out what else is going on. But if you are out in a customer's home, just replace it. Just replace it, right? Look, 21 bucks retail. Just replace it. And a way of testing this limit fuse, you should do that every time, is bring your lighter with you. And so what I used to do is, I actually got a video on my channel with this. Um, I would hold it with some pliers, put a lighter to it, uh, wait to hear a click. Once you hear that click test, you should have no continuity. And then don't do anything. Wait for it to cool off. You wait a few seconds. It'll click again. Test it. You should have continuity. If you put that lighter to that fuse and you have continuity, it's failed. It's bad. Um, so keep that in mind. Also, with uh, with Whirlpool dryers, there's timers. So simply put, without getting too technical, simply put, if you have a nose heat situation and you are testing, your heat element is good, all your fuses is good, and your power is good, you get 120, 120, and 240 from the outlet. Uh, Test this back connector here and the third one. I usually do the third one, excuse me, from it. And if you have continuity, you're good. The blow up of it. If you do not have continuity, there's an issue. And as a backup, I will do the second one also. But the main one, keep your probe on the one on the back here. And usually those connectors, this thing will, sometimes it'll fuse together, or at times it will, not have continuity because of carbon buildup from electrical arcing. And sometimes the disconnect go bad also. So while we're on the subject, this is your timer motor. If you are a flipper, cover your dryers. If you don't have storage, you gotta keep your stuff outside. These things will get wet if you keep your dryers outside, and they'll go bad. And the timer motors goes bad when you get the customer saying it won't turn off. So my dryer just keeps going and won't turn off, and that's usually because the timer motor. And you can tell because the timer doesn't move. So if that timer's not moving, you after 10 minutes, that motor is probably bad. Usually, you got to replace the whole timer. Um, if you're creative enough, you can find these things. Just the motor itself. So let's talk about dryer exhaust. Let's see if we can find. I don't have that queued up. Um, but it's about the exhaust in the back, right? So that's another thing you need to have as a skill set in your arsenal. You gotta have the ability to diagnose the exhaust going outside the home. One thing I always do, even before I open up a dryer, I'll put that thing on fluff air, and I'll go outside and inspect the air ducts going to the outside. It's important that there's a flap on there. Even more important than the screen, I would say it's got to have some sort of flap. Because what happens, no flap there. It rains, all kind of moisture gets into that pipe. I mean, you get birds' nests and all that stuff. All types of moisture gets into that pipe, and then when that lint comes through that pipe, it's sticking to the sides. And you have a capillary action going on there. Um, and next thing you know, overheating, it blows. Now, if you have side ventilation, if it's going through the roof, right? Number one, you don't have to climb on a roof, contrary to popular belief. You usually don't have to climb on the roof to check those vents. You can actually go through the. You can actually go into the attic, and it's connected by aluminum tape and usually a screw, and that will uh, do the job. And what you'll see is usually there's a screen there, and that screen will be clogged. A good way to know too if that vent that's going through the roof is clogged is you see water in the hose, because what happens is that moisture goes up, hits that clog, and then the as that hot air cools, that water it doesn't no longer holds the water molecules, and it comes back down and stays in the pipe. So um, keep that in mind. Any questions and advice? One thing I always say: none of us is as good as all of us. None of us is as smart as all of us. So collectively, if you have more tips, put it in the comment section below. That's my time. So on Monday, we'll go over the rest of dryers 101. I'll cover the heating element and drum rotation on Monday. Uh, also, the dryer voltage schematics will be covered too. So that's going. I'm gonna have to save that for Monday. Uh, any questions? Leave it in the comments. You know how to reach me. Also, oh, one thing I forgot to cover: LOYR. Lean on your rep. If you have any questions, you have problems, if you want to pick my brain, if you want to lean on my resources, let me know. If you hate Encompass because of whatever reason, bad experience, anything, contact me, lean on your rep. Uh, I'll do whatever I can to make it right and get you back aboard, because this Compass has a lot of good things that the Compass gets better every day. Um, just from the things I see behind the scenes, the Compass gets better every day. And you definitely want to leverage what we have going on to help grow your business. Y'all go over to Mona and Tim SSG Appliance Academy. Go to Linktree description in the link to find her paid channel. And hey, I'll see y'all on Monday. Don't forget to watch my show on Monday. We'll recover. We'll finish going over dryers 101. I'll see you guys.